Welcome all of you. This is our 8th lecture in the series of online lectures and we are learning Economics Standard 12th. Welcome to my class. We are learning Economics Standard 12th of Maharashtra Board, HSC Board. So far we have completed 2 lessons, that is Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics as well as Utility Analysis. And currently we are learning lesson number 3A, that is Demand Analysis. What we have learnt in our last lecture? We have started learning lesson number 3A, that is demand analysis. And what we have covered from demand analysis? Introduction of demand, meaning of demand, definition of demand, demand schedule, individual demand curve, market demand schedule, market demand curve, which are given on page number 17 to 19. And what we are going to learn today? Today we are going further and starting with types of demand, determinants of demand and law of demand. Okay, and we are going to learn introduction and statement of the law from law of demand topic. Okay, which are given on page number 19 to 21. See, as per the press note which has been released by government, Maharashtra government this year, okay, especially for the students who has been affected by coronavirus. See, 25% syllabus has been reduced, right? All of you knows this thing. Now, as per this reduction in the syllabus, which has been deducted or kept for self-study from lesson number 3A, that is given on page number 19 and column number 1 and 2, that we are coming across in today's lecture. Okay, see, starting from page number 19, see this part, okay, that is reasons justifying downward sloping demand curve. Okay, see these 5 reasons, this part has been considered as self-study under 25% reduction in the syllabus for this year only. Okay, self-study. Now, what we are going to learn today? We are going to start with types of demand. Okay, see, there are 5 types of demand: direct demand, indirect demand, complementary or joint demand, composite demand, and competitive demand. Okay, so there are these 5 types of demand. Okay, now let's start with first type of demand, that is direct demand. See, what direct demand means? It is the demand by the consumer for goods which satisfy their wants directly. Okay, see, the goods which satisfy the consumer's wants directly. They serve direct consumption needs of the consumer. See, direct consumption can be done by the consumers. It is the demand for consumer goods. Okay, see, these are the consumer goods. For example, demand for cloth, sugar, etc. Okay, simply what we can say, see, the demand of goods that is satisfying the want of hunger is satisfied by what? Food. The want of thirst is satisfied by water. The want of shelter, okay, it's satisfied by home. Or the want of clothing is satisfied by the clothes. In short, we can say that to satisfy the basic necessities of human being, okay, which goods or which consumer products are used, those are called as, those comes under the category of direct demand. See, for example, water, food, shelter, clothing, okay, because this directly satisfies the specific demand. Okay, see, that's why those are called as direct demand. Next is indirect demand. See, what is meant by indirect demand? Indirect demand is also known as derived demand. Derived means derived from something. Okay, it refers to demand for goods which are needed for further production. Okay, it is the demand for producers' good. Hence, all factors of production have indirect or derived demand. Who has derived demand? All factors of production. Okay, all factors of production has the derived demand or indirect demand. For example, demand for workers in a sugar factory is derived or indirect demand. See, what does this mean? if there is a demand for sugar in the market these days, okay, if there is a demand for sugar, then what the employer will think? He will employ more employees or more laborers or more workers in his sugar factory. See, what was the actual demand? Actual demand or the direct demand was demand for sugar, okay. And what did the employer, what did the manager in the sugar factory did? See, he employed more workers in his company. So was this a direct demand? No. This demand was derived by the direct demand of sugar. Okay. So this is the indirect demand. Okay. See, why it is called as the factors of production? Which are the factors of production? See, there are four factors of production. Okay. Which are the four factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and land, labor, capital, and human being. Okay. That is entrepreneur. Now, see here the factors of, in this example, the factors of production is workers, that is labor. Okay. See, what was the direct demand? Direct demand was for sugar. Okay. And for satisfying the direct demand of sugar in the market these days, what was done? Extra labor or extra workers were employed in sugar factory so that more production of sugar can be done. So this is what? Derived demand. Derived from what? The demand of sugar, which was the direct demand. So employing more workers or more laborers in the sugar factory is a direct demand. Okay. Which is derived, which is needed for further production. Okay. See, it is the demand for factors of production for producing the goods of utility. See, if there is the demand for sugar by consumers, then the sugar factory owner will hire the workers to work in sugar factory. Okay. The another example can be given for these days. See, these days all teachers are demanding any screen recorder or some applications or some softwares to teach online, because what is the demand these days? See, these days the demand of online teaching has been arisen. So what is the actual demand? Online teaching. And after out of that online teaching, what has been done? Teachers are compelled to learn some softwares or some new techniques. Okay, so that was the derived demand. Next, see, what is the demand these days? Online teaching. Okay, see, this is the demand of online teaching. Okay, see, for this online, if somebody wants to take the online lectures, online teaching, what should be done? See, what he is doing is, has this person gone in the class? No, he is delivering the lecture in front of the, see, this is the gadget, this is the camera. Camera has been put here, okay, on the stand. And he is recording his lectures on the PC, okay, on the computer. And by that he will deliver the online lectures. So what was the demand? Online lectures. And for that, what he has done? He has taken some gadgets, okay. See, for example, which gadgets are required for online teaching? See, these gadgets, these are the minimum gadgets which are required for taking the online lectures. See, this was the indirect demand which has been arrived because of the demand of online teaching. Okay, this is the example of these days. Next type is complementary or joint demand. See, complementary or joint demand. When two or more goods are demanded jointly, two or more goods are demanded jointly to satisfy a single want, it is known as a joint or complementary demand. Okay, two or more goods are required at the same time to satisfy a single want or a single desire. For example, car and fuel. See, if we have purchased the car and we want to run the car, okay, we want to travel by the car. Can that car alone travel without the fuel? No. So car requires the fuel to run, right? Car requires the fuels to run. As well as, what is the use of fuel if the cars are not there? Okay, so use of fuel is also for cars. Okay, so this is what, both the things are complementary to each other. Both the things are, the demand of fuel or the demand of car are joint demands. Okay, without each other they are not of any use, of no utility. Okay, the another example can be given of ink pen and ink bottle. See, if you have purchased the ink pen, then you should purchase the ink bottle also. Okay, both the things are complementary to each other. Sorry. See, the another example can be given of matchsticks and firecrackers. See, if you want the firecrackers to burn, can they burn by themselves? No. So the matchsticks is required. So matchstick and firecracker are complementary to each other. Okay, it means demand is single. Okay, what is the demand? Running of the car, using of the ink pen for writing. Okay, firing of the firecrackers. See, demand is single, but two or more commodities are demanded to satisfy that single demand. Okay, single demand or single want, because both the commodities are complementary to each other. Okay, and they satisfy a single demand. Okay, see, that's why it is called as a complementary or joint demand. Next is composite demand. See, composite. Okay, the meaning is hidden in the word itself. The demand for a commodity which can be put to several uses. Okay, several uses. The actual meaning is hidden in these words itself. Several uses. The demand for a commodity which can be utilized for several uses is known as composite demand. For example, electricity is demanded for several uses such as fan, washing machine, right? Television, cooking. Okay, see, electricity has come in this man's home. Okay, so utility of electricity is for multi-purpose or for the several uses. That's why it is called as composite demand. Okay, the another example which I have already told and taught you in another earlier lectures, that is of coal. See, there are multiple demands of coal. Okay, see, right, starting from simple slate to the railway engine. Okay, everywhere the coal is used. So coal also has the composite demand. The regular example of in our day-to-day life is of, we can take of milk. See, what can be done of the milk? See, milk can be converted into curd, can be converted into buttermilk, can be converted into cheese, can be converted into paneer, can be converted into shrikhand, right? See, can be converted into butter. There are multiple uses of milk. So, milk has a composite demand. Why? Which can be put to several uses. Okay, so these are the examples of composite demand. Next, competitive demand. See, here is the keyword. Okay, from this keyword you can come to know what is the concept hidden in this demand. Competitive demand. See, it is demand for those goods which are substitute. Okay, which are substitute for each other. Means which are competing with each other. For example, tea or coffee. Okay, tea or coffee. What should be taken? Tea or coffee. Sugar or jaggery. Okay, see why those are called as competitive. Okay, why? Commodities which are alternate to each other. Okay, only one commodity should be utilized by the or consumed at a single time. Okay, that's why those are called as substitute. Either tea can be taken at a time or coffee can be taken at a time. Either sugar would be used or jaggery would be used. So those are substitute to each other. Those are competing with each other. Okay. The another example of, see, while it is raining, either raincoat would be used or umbrella would be used. Okay. So these can be the examples of competitive demand. Okay. Now we'll start with determinants of demand. What I mean by determinants of demand? See, these are some factors. Okay, these are 11 factors, basically 11 factors. See, these are the factors which determines the demand. Okay, see, these factors, the demand is based on these factors. That's why it is called as determinants of demand. Okay, see, the demand for goods is determined by the following factors: price, income, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods, nature of product, size of population, expectations about future prices, advertisement, tastes, habits and fashions, level of taxation and other factors. Okay, now we'll see one by one. The first of all, it is price. See, we have already learnt in our earlier lecture and we are learning these days also. See, price is the most important factor which determines the demand. Okay, we have already seen. See, why? Price determines the demand for a commodity to a large extent. Okay, see, the demand for a specific commodity or demand for any commodity basically depends on the price. Okay, price factor. Consumers prefers to purchase a product in large quantities when price of a product is less. See, when the price of a product is less, what happens? Consumer products demand is more, right? Demand is more. And they purchase a product in small quantities when price of a product is high. See, when the price of the product is high, what happens? Consumer tends to buy less. Means what is the consumer behavior? See, consumer prefers to purchase a product in large quantities when price of a product is less. The demand is more. Okay, and they purchase a product in small quantities. Demand is less when the price of the product is high. So both are opposite to each other, inversely proportional to each other. Okay. See, when the price of the onion is high, what person thinks? See, he does not buy more. May it be a single consumer, may it be a market demand. Okay. See, when the price of the commodity is high, consumer tends to buy less quantity. Okay. Next is income. See, obviously, income is one of the most important factor which determines the demand for a commodity. See, income of a consumer decides purchasing power. Purchasing power means purchasing capacity. Okay, of a consumer. Who decides the purchasing capacity of a consumer? Income of that consumer. Okay, income of a consumer decides purchasing power, which in turn influences the demand for the product. Okay, which influence the demand for the product. Rise in income will lead to rise in demand. See, here with the rise in income, what will rise? Rise in income will lead to rise in demand. See, both are proportional to each other. Okay, rise in income will lead to rise in demand for the commodity, and a fall in income will lead to fall in demand for the commodity. See, if the income of the consumer has been declined, then what will happen? His demand also will decline. Okay, see, in these days when many or earning people have lost their jobs due to the coronavirus, so the demand for many commodities has been declined, right? See, the luxury goods especially we can say has been declined because people are not earning, right? People has lost their jobs. See, people has become jobless due to shutdown due to COVID-19. As they have become jobless, they are not earning. Their income capacity has been declined. So with the decline in income capacity, the demand also has been declined for many of the commodities. See, if there is more income, the person will tend to buy more. Okay, if his income gets declining, okay, so he will tend to buy less goods. Okay, so his demand will decrease. So what we can say, income is directly proportional to demand. Next, price of substitute goods. See, if a substitute good is available at a lower price, substitute means the one which can be consumed instead of that main good. Okay, if a substitute good is available at a lower price, then people will demand cheaper substitute good than the costly good, right? For example, if the price of sugar rises, then the demand of jaggery will rise. See, for example, if the people wants to have the sweet items, okay, and see, sweetness can be given by sugar as well by the jaggery, okay, but if the prices of the sugars rises, then what will happen? People will tend to go for its substitute. What is the substitute? Jaggery, right? So this is what price of substitute, see, demand of any good depends upon the price of its substitute good. Okay, see, if the price increases, the demand for it will fall. Okay, if the price increases, demand for it will fall and people will go to the substitute good. Okay, see, which are the substitute goods? See, for example, um, people who travels in the car, right? And if the prices of the cars and prices of the petrol hikes, increases, then what people will tend to do? People will like to travel by railway, train, or people will start to travel by their own bicycle. Okay, why? What is the substitute? Substitute for traveling by car, either traveling by train or traveling by car or traveling by bicycle. See, similarly, substitute for any toothpaste. Okay, if the prices increase, people will go to the another toothpaste company. Coca-Cola, okay, substitute is Pepsi. If the prices of McDonald's increases, people will go to the Burger King. If the prices of coffee increases, people will like to have tea. Okay, see, like these are the substitute items. Okay, next is price of complementary good. Okay, complementary. What is meant by complementary? See, change in the price of one commodity would also affect the demand for another other commodity. For example, car and fuel. If the price of fuel rises, then demand for car will fall. See, what has been said? Complementary good. Which which good is complementary to each other? See, fuel is complementary to car and car is complementary to fuel. See, for example, if the price of the fuel rises, okay, price of the fuel rises, then what will happen? The demand for car will fall. Okay, see now, whose demand is falling down? The price of the petrol is increasing, right? The demand for car is falling down. Why? Because both are complementary to each other. Okay, see, okay, the other example can be given now. See, what is this given? See, this is how finger chips. Okay, factors affecting demand. Price of related goods can affect demand. If French fry, okay, French fry we call it them as finger chips also. Okay, if the French fries prices doubles, okay, see, for example, McDonald's or Burger King or any big outlet, eating outlet doubles the prices of the French fries, then what will happen? The demand for ketchup will also probably decline. Why? See, especially the ketchup is used for eating with French fries. If the price of the French fries, okay, is the price of the French fries, okay, if the price of the French fries inclines or increases, then what will happen? The demand for ketchup will decline. Okay, so for the complementary goods, the goods which are complementary to each other, if the price of one commodity increases, like fuel, or here in this case, uh, this French fries, then what will happen? The complementary good, like that is car or ketchup will, the demand for car or ketchup will decline. Okay, because the goods are complementary to each other. Next, nature of product. See, if a commodity is a necessity, okay, if the commodity is a necessity and its use is unavoidable, then its demand will continue to be the same irrespective of the corresponding price. For example, medicines to control blood pressure, sugar, etc. See, what we can say? See, why medicines are used? Because medicines are used for curing the illness, right? Okay, such commodities are essential goods. Or see, for example, during the lockdown season, right? Um, or in the COVID season, see, medical stores were open all the time. Medical stores were allowed to be open, right? Why? Because medicals must be available for the patients. Okay, because those are the medicines or the necessity commodity. Okay, its use is unavoidable because it cures the patients. Okay, the another example can be given of cylinder, LPG gas cylinder. Okay, which is utilized in home for cooking. See, even during the lockdown days, the people used to buy the cylinders. Why? Because its use is unavoidable. That is the thing of necessity. Next factor, which is the determinant of demand, is size of population. See, larger the size of the population, greater will be the demand for a commodity. And smaller the size of the population, smaller will be the demand for commodity. That is very obvious. See, as much as the population of a specific place or specific locality, that much would be the demand. Okay, and as less population of that locality, there would be the lesser demand. Okay, so the demand depends also on population of that locality, right? See, as there are many people will demand for many products, and the demand in the market would be more. Okay, and if there are the lesser people, there would be the lesser demand. See, there are many people, there would be the demand will go on rising. Okay, next factor which is determinant of demand is expectations about future prices. See, this is one different. Okay, this is one different factor. If the consumer expects the price to fall in future, he will buy less in present at the prevailing prices. Prevailing means current prices. Similarly, if he expects the price to rise in future, he will buy more in the present at the prevailing price. See, this another example or the realistic example of this is again of onions. See, if what happens in the rainy season, see, in the rainy season the prices of the onion gets increased or hiked. So what people think, see, they do the future expectations, right? They have the future expectations about the hike in the prices. Okay, see, if they have the high expectations about the hike in the prices due to many reasons. See, there are many reasons due to which the prices may hike or the prices may fall down. If the people think that the price may fall in the future, okay, or in the coming future, what they will do, he will buy less today. Today he will buy less. Why? What he will think, in future the prices will fall. Then why should I buy now? Why should I buy now at the prevailing rate? Prevailing means current price. The prices will fall in the future, so I will buy in the future. Okay. So what consumer thinks, if the prices are falling, okay, if the prices are falling, what he will do? He will buy less in the present. Okay. So demand will also decline. Okay. If the prices are falling. Similarly, if he expects the price to rise in the future, okay, his expectations are the price will rise in the future. What he will do? He will buy more at the present. Okay, so what he will do, if the prices are going to buy in the future, his demand will also increase. Okay, for the future expectations. Okay, this is only for the future expectations. For the if he has some predictions, okay, or some judgments due to some past experiences. Okay, see, if he thinks that currently the price is this much of a specific commodity and which is going to be triple or double or which is going to increase. So what he will do, he will have the future expectations or predictions and he will plan his demand on purchasing accordingly, right? See, it is what it is. See, in this much of price, okay, this much of commodities can be bought. Okay, so what he will think, if the price is falling down, I can buy more commodities in the same price. See, in the same price, he may think that if the price is going to fall, I can buy more commodities. Okay, more commodities. So what he will do? He will tend to wait. Okay, he will tend to wait and he will think of buying later on if the prices are going to fall in the future and vice versa. Okay, so this is also the one of the determinant of demand. Okay, Next determinant of demand is advertisement. See, advertisement has a great impact on the viewers, right? On everybody, all of us agree. Advertisement, sales promotion schemes, and effective salesmanship tends, tends to change the preferences of the consumers and lead to demand for many products. For example, cosmetics, toothbrush, etc. See, these days we can see the advertisement on many views, on many medias. Earlier, they used to be on the printed mediums only, like newspapers, magazines, right? Nowadays, later on, they started to come on uh, audio media, that is radio, then television. These days, we can see the advertisement on every electronic gadget. For example, on computer, we can see the advertisement on the browsers, right? While watching YouTube videos, also we find the advertisement. While downloading something or while visiting any of the website, also we find the advertisement. Advertisement comes to our mobile also. Advertisement comes on the different apps also. See, so what happens with the advertisement? See, the people or the company tries to impress us by their products. Okay, for the newly launched products or the products which they want to sell more. Okay, see what do? They advertise the product as a promotion scheme or marketing scheme. And what happens? People tends to buy more because they get impressed or influenced by watching or listening to the advertise. Okay, see there are the different influences of the advertisement. Okay, somebody gets so much influence that he wants to have that product immediately. Okay, today itself. Okay, so there is a great impact of advertisement on the consumer's minds. Also, consumer behavior totally depends on also on advertisement factor also. Okay, see, many advertisement companies has uh, used many tactics, new tactics, different tactics to influence their people, and people tries to goes and bring the products, buy the products. Okay, so this is also one of the big determinant of demand. See, advertisement, more advertisement. If the person watches, then what will happen? He will go to have more demand. Okay, so advertisement is directly proportional with demand. Next determinant of demand is tastes, habits, and fashions. Okay, now let's see what is meant by this. Taste and habits of a consumer influence the demand for a commodity. If a consumer likes to eat chocolates or consume tea, he will demand more of them. Similarly, when a new fashion hits the market, the consumer demands that particular type of commodity. If a commodity goes out of fashion, then suddenly the demand for that product tends to fall. See, for example, see what it meant by taste. Taste means liking, okay, or taste means like to have something, okay. See, taste, likings, and habits of a consumer influence the demand for a commodity. For example, if you have a habit of drinking tea while learning, okay, see if you generate the habit of if I drink more and more tea, sorry, I will get more and more energy and I will study more. Okay, similarly, people who are working in the offices, if they have the habit of drinking tea and again, so it is their habit. Okay, so they have developed that taste. Okay, see, if they have the habit or taste of something, okay, then what will happen? They will consume that more and the demand for that product will increase. Okay, so if the habit is there, then the demand will also will increase for that specific product. Okay, more habit, more demand. Similarly, when a new see for in this example, see this person has the habit of addictions, right? See, as there is the addiction, as he has the addiction of different many things, okay, many bad items, consumption of many bad items. So as he has the habit, his demand for that product will increase. Though he has the less income, so his habit will only because of his habit he will tend to have more demand for it. Okay, see, when new fashion hits the market, the consumer demands that particular type of commodity. Okay, if a commodity goes out of fashion, then suddenly the demand for that product tends to fall. I'll give you example of this. See, for example, Many of the movies, Bollywood movies, Hollywood movies, has influenced the people with some of the fashion which has been introduced in that movie. For example, a specific kind of dress. Okay, if you watch a specific kind of dress of heroine or the actress which has done, then what happens? That becomes a fashion in the public. That becomes a fashion in the market. That people or the ladies tends to buy the same ornaments, same jewelry, same clothes, right? So this becomes a fashion. Okay. See, this is the basic thing of fashion. And what is trending these days? Have you noticed what is in fashion these days? See, as these are the lockdown days, right? See, so people are not able to go outside and do the fashions as they used to do earlier. So what is trending these days? See, have you noticed matching mask? Okay, matching mask on the shirts, match on the dresses of the girls, matching mask of the same cloth for the men. Okay, so see, this has been trending these days because this is in fashion these days. See, for example, the scarf and the mask both is made up of the same cloth, right? Both are matching because these days people are using mask. Okay, see, so the mask is in fashion nowadays. See, and the mask is made up of the same cloth which is matching of the mask. See, there are the two examples. Now, if this fashion goes away, see, when a new fashion hits the market or when the corona stuck is over, okay, lockdown is over, okay, and when corona has gone, okay, has vanished entirely, then will people continue use mask or this scarves? No, people will not use this mask. Okay, so this is the fashion for the time being only. Okay, also for matching mask, and this concept will vanish when the corona will go. Okay, because corona has stuck the entire world. Okay, when a fashion hits the market, the consumer demands that particular type of commodity. If a commodity goes out of fashion, then suddenly the demand for that product tends to fall. Means when corona will go, the demand for that product will fall. Next determinant of demand is level of taxation. See, high rates of taxes on goods and services would increase the price of the goods or services. Okay, this in turn would result in decrease in demand for goods or services and vice versa. See, if the taxes are high, okay, what will happen? The income will, what will happen? The prices will high, right? If the taxes will high, the prices will get high. And if the price is high, inclines, then what will happen? There will be decrease in demand. Okay, see, high rates of taxes. See, this person is running away because taxes are following him. Okay, so what he will tend to do? He will try to save his money, whatever he is having. Okay, he will try to save. Okay, if the taxes are running behind him, so what he will tend to do? He will not buy more things. Okay, because so the demand will decrease. Demand for goods and services will decrease if the taxes are more in the market. Okay, see, the person is overburdened with the taxes itself. See, if the taxes are more, the person will get overburdened and he will try to not to spend more, so the demand will decrease. Okay, and vice versa, means if the taxes decreases, right, the prices will also decrease. Why? Prices depends upon the taxes. Which taxes is prevailing in India these days? Only GST, goods and service tax is the composite tax. Okay, so if the taxes decreases, the price of the commodity will decrease. Okay, and what consumer will behave? His demand will increase. Okay, so taxes also determines the demand. And there are some other factors also which are the determinants of demands. Which are those other factors? Climatic conditions, changes in technology, government policy, and customs and traditions, etc. I will explain you. See, climatic conditions. See, how climatic conditions determine the demand. See, if it is a rainy season, okay, if it is a rainy season, okay, what is the climate? It is a rainy climate or the cloudy climate. It is rainy. If it is a rainy season, what will be in demand? See, either raincoats or umbrellas will be in the demand. So this demand is temporary, right? Demand of raincoats or umbrellas is temporary. It depends only on the climate or the season, right? Similarly, when it is too hot in the sunny days, the demand for goggles will increase, right? Sunglasses will increase. That demand for sunglasses will not be there in the rainy season. Okay. Similarly, in winter days, see, snow is there everywhere. Okay, what we feel? We feel cool. We feel cold, chilling. So what we tend to have? We tend to have the woolen clothes. See, these are the woolen clothes worn. See, the woolen clothes are neither worn in rainy days nor worn in sunny days. So the demand for woolen clothes will be in the winter days only. So this is the demand. So demand depends on the climatic conditions. Okay, means seasons. Next is changes in technology. See, as we have seen, this is the 21st century and there is rapid increase in the technology. See, as there is a rapid increase in technology, what is happening? The demand for new technological goods is there in the market. See, what is used, for example, see, the mixer is used, which was not used in earlier days. See, mixer is the evidence of technology, right? Then mobile phones. Okay, see, with the advent of the technology, old things, old items are going to be vanished, right? See, with the advent of Wi-Fi, what is happening? See, we are using new technological products, right? See, that as the technology is increasing, we are tending to buy new products which are technology impacted, right? Next is government policy. See, the demand depends also on the government policy. See, these days we can see the good example of this. We are the victims of this, right? See, what is meant by government policy? As due to the what China has been done with the coronavirus, what government has decided? The government of India has decided that not to buy anything from China. That is boycott Chinese products, right? See, if government of India has decided to buy do make in India products only. Okay, whatever Indian people will buy or whatever Indian people will use would be made in India only. See, and India will boycott the Chinese products. Okay, see, this is what due to government policy, and what will happen because of this? See, due to Make in India or startup programs, Indian people will tend to start their new businesses, right? They will start to manufacture all the things. They will not depend on the atoms or anything, application softwares, anything. Okay, they will not depend on anything from China. Okay, and they will start to manufacture all the things by themselves. Okay, see, India is going to be strong in manufacturing sector, industries, right? See, manufacturing industries, power, technology, everything. India is going to be strong. Okay, and he will not depend on the neighbor countries for any of the things. Okay, so this is what, see, because of that, what happened? The demand for the Chinese product got declined. Okay, and the demand for Indian products will incline. Okay, because India will become strong for regarding with all the sectors. See, why this happened? This happened only because of the government policy. So government policy also has the biggest impact on the as a determinant of demand. And next is other factors. What are the other factors? Customs and traditions, etc. See, the demand for anything. See, here I have shown the example only of clothes. If you are considering the example of clothes only, okay, only of clothes. See, in the customs, see, I have shown here the ladies which are wearing the traditional wear of Maharashtra. Okay, traditional saree of Maharashtra they are wearing. Okay, see, if there is the tradition of wearing these clothes only, this kind of sarees only, then in that locality or in that specific time, there would be the demand of that specific kind of sarees only. Okay, now in Muslim region, the ladies wear clad burqa. Okay. See, in their locality, there will be the demand for burqa only. Okay, the demand for burqa. If we consider the entire India, see, there are different customs, traditions, cultures, etc. Right? We have seen it. So there are many cultures and traditions in India. See, whatever is the tradition or culture of in a specific location, that type of costumes are only consumed in that specific location. Okay, see for example Punjab. Okay, then different cultures if we think about, then uh, Tamil Nadu, okay, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Bengal. Okay, so that those specific costumes are only purchased because specific customs, traditions, beliefs, cultures are followed by the different people. Okay, so that also determines the demand. So determinant of demand is also dependent upon the customs and traditions, etc. With this, you have completed determinants of demand. And now we'll start with the most important concept, that is law of demand. Okay, see, now what is law of demand? The law of demand was introduced by Professor Alfred Marshall in his popular book Principles of Economics, which was published in 1890. The law explains the functional relationship, okay, functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. Now see, what is law of demand? Okay, who is the pioneer of law of demand? Economist Alfred Marshall. Okay, we have studied him since standard 11. Alfred Marshall is an economist. Okay, who is the pioneer of principle of economics. His famous book is Principles of Economics. Okay, which was published in the year 1890. Okay, what has been written in that book? In this book, Principles of Economics, what has been written? The law of demand, which has been introduced. See, what is this law of demand? According to Professor Alfred Marshall, other things being constant, that is ceteris paribus, higher the price of a commodity, smaller is the quantity demanded, and lower the price of a commodity, larger is the quantity demanded. See, higher the price of the commodity, what will happen? The quantity demanded will be lower. Okay, and larger and lower the price of the commodity, okay, the price of the commodity gets declined, then what will happen? The quantity demanded will get increased. Okay, it is quantity demanded. Okay, now see, in other words, other factors remaining constant. Which are the other factors which I have seen in assumptions? If the price of a commodity rises like this, demand for it falls, and when the price of the commodity falls, the demand for the commodity rises. Thus, there is an inverse relationship between price and commodity demanded. See, there is an inverse relationship, means price of a commodity is not directly proportional to quantity demanded. It is inversely proportional, right? So, there is an inverse relationship between price and commodity quantity demanded. See, if the price, see, this is a graph, this is a demand curve, and what is shown on the x-axis? The quantity of the commodity demanded in kgs, and what is shown on the y-axis? Prices. Okay, see, with the increase in the prices, see, what is happening? The demand for the commodity is declining. Okay, we'll see this in later in detail. Okay, see, with the increase in the price, quantity demanded decreases. Okay, this has been propagated by whom? By economist Alfred Marshall in his famous book Principles of Economics in the year of 1890. Okay, now what is the statement of this law? What he states in this law, law of demand? See, symbolically, the functional relationship between demand and price is expressed. Okay, what is meant by functional relationship? Okay, what is meant by symbolically defined? See, it means demand. It is called as a demand function. Okay, what is demand function? Mathematical formula that shows the relationship of price and quantity demanded. What is the relationship between price and quantity? That is shown in the mathematical formula. Okay, that's why it is called as a demand function. Okay, function means mathematical formula. See, with the increase in the price, there is a decrease in the quantity demanded, right? It is also shown in this cartoon graph. Okay, so what is this, that mathematical formula? That is the function. Okay, see, d of x is equal to function of p of x. Okay, d of x is equal to function of p of x. D of x, x is the any commodity, is the function of p of x. What is this d? D is the demand for a commodity, right? See, this is the demand for a commodity, means the quantity consumed. Okay, of which commodity? Commodity x. Okay, demand for a commodity x is the function of price of a commodity. See, the demand of a commodity x is the function of the price of that specific commodity. Okay, so P of x is what? Price of a commodity. Okay, so the demand for a specific commodity, okay, is what? It is the relationship of its price. Okay, that's why it is called as a mathematical formula. Okay, so we'll see what are the different assumptions for this statement of the law. Okay, and what are the exceptions to the law, to this law of demand, and how it should be explained with the help of demand schedule and demand curve. Okay, that we'll see in our next lecture. See, for the timing, what is the homework for you? Complete the following hypothetical demand schedule. See, different prices of commodities are given. See, here in this table what has been shown, the prices of the commodity is falling down. Okay, then how much of quantity would be demanded? If the price of the sample they have given, okay, for example, they have given, if the price of commodity is rupees 350, then quantity demanded would be 3 kgs. Okay, now you have to consider, or hypothetically you have to relate it with some of the commodity which whose price would be rupees 350. Okay, and if its price is rupees 350, you tend to buy 3 kgs. If its price falls down to rupees 100, okay, what do? You tend to buy 30 kgs. Okay, now you have to consider an example in your daily uses. Okay, and then you have to fill this table. Okay, fill the data in this table. If it falls down to 300 rupees per kg, then how much you will buy? Okay, like this you have to complete this table. Okay, one more homework is there for you. Complete this table. If these are the different types of demand, okay, and you have to give the examples. Okay, for the direct demand you have to give 2 examples. Then the example is given, workers in cotton textile industry, then which kind of demand it is. Okay, then joint demand, the examples are given. For preparing coffee, what is required for to as a for preparing of the coffee, which comes under the joint demand? Three Okay, 3 commodities, names of the 3 commodities you have to write over here. Okay, then the example is given, CNG and petrol, pen and pencil is the example of which type of demand, that you have to write over here. Then again the examples are given, tea, curd, diet consumption, sweets, these are the products of milk. Then which type of demand is it, that also you have to complete in this table. Okay, and you have to write it in your notebook, take its photograph using cam scanner, and you have to send it to me. What we'll learn in your next lecture? In next lecture we'll see assumptions, demand schedule, exceptions to the law of demand from the law of demand. Okay, which is given on page number 21 to 23. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and don't forget to study online.